I'd say it's been pretty good. Got off to a good start for some people in this country, except for you almost 70 million people that voted to keep the guy in the White House that was there. That says a lot to me. A lot.
Yeah.
70 million of you guys who looked at this person and said, this guy's good and competent enough to run this country for another 4 years. What is wrong with y'all? Why would you want this? Like, I'm sorry, like people can be on different sides of things.
We know why.
We know why. But we got to call it out. People can be on different sides of things. You can have different political views. There's people who have Republican views and are fine. But this is where I've always drawn the line. Supporting that dude and the things that he has said and done and been so divisive and things that he said that are totally not true, the lies he's made, the xenophobia, the sexism, the racism that he has spread throughout his time in the White House. And the fact that people still voted for him says a lot about this country. We'll get to that in a second. But we got him up out of here. Thank you to the people who did some of this great work to get him up out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Black women, for doing such a great job in states like Georgia to get him the hell up out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you to all those people. So a lot of people came out and voted. I know Bryan did his early voting. I took it very seriously. I was up election day early in the morning and went and voted. And so, we all did our duty. And look, it was very dramatic. We had days of this drawn out before he was finally projected the winner on Saturday. And look, we know what we saw out there. If certain people, in my neighborhood, somebody yelled out the window, we did it. Yeah, we got him out of here. I heard people honking. I heard people doing stuff. It was really, in some cities around the country, it was really interesting how people reacted to this and why people were so happy. And I went out that Saturday. And I went here in Brooklyn. I went to Brooklyn Bridge Park and I was out. And I swore, I told you this, Bryan, there was more people out at that park than I had seen at parts of this summer. And I was there in late August and I didn't see this many people out on a specific day. And it was just a lot of people out socially distancing and being responsible. And I will say that there were some places where we didn't see that, but people were being responsible, socially distancing, but people were out smiling, happy, just showing a lot of joy because it means a lot to a lot of people that this guy got up out of here. Now, I want my attitude towards this. Am I happy? People ask me, yeah, but I'm curbing my enthusiasm on this. I still understand there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to done. There's a lot of things that affect the people of color in this country. And our government hasn't totally changed just because we got this guy out of here. There's still a lot of work that no matter what you felt about the Biden-Harris ticket, that they still have to get done. And it's up to us as people to hold them accountable, hold out all our elected officials accountable, especially at the local level. So that's kind of the vibe I'm on. It was a good day. Understand why it was a great day for everybody. Understand how it got this month off to a great start, that we got this guy out of here. And, good riddance. That's pretty much all I got to say. Goodbye, 45.
Yeah, and look, it's important to note that and this is a point that I made, I think, on or whenever it became official around that time, like the places that really got this done: Atlanta, which is a city, a lot of Black and Latino folks down there, Nevada, but in particular Las Vegas, Reno, Phoenix, Arizona, Detroit, Michigan.
Let's give a shout out. Was it the Navajo tribe out in Nevada?
97%.
Our indigenous brothers and sisters out there, they got it done. They showed up. Some of them traveling on, this is true, it's like traveling on horseback to get to polls and getting it done out there. So shout out to our indigenous brothers and sisters who could actually have every reason to be like, F this country. Look what y'all did to us, stealing our land, committing mass genocide. They don't have a reason to show up, but they did show up. And I appreciate that. So thank you.
Detroit, Michigan, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, I always say, is kind of like a mini New York City. Like, it's a lot of Black and Latino folks there, and they don't stand for this shit. You know what I mean? And they turn Pennsylvania blue. I think they're still counting votes, which is interesting in itself. But, Biden's lead keeps widening. And I want to, this is from Julio Ricardo Valera, who was a co-host of In the Thick. who's been really on top of this, especially as it relates to the Latino vote, which is not a monolith, but that's another discussion for another day. U.S. counties with the largest Hispanic population, 2019, Biden won all of these counties, and this is like
Mhm.
Los Angeles County in California, Harris County in Texas, which almost went blue, which I think is possible that could be blue 4 years from now. But we have to go through this sort of period of time first. Miami-Dade County in Florida now. People talk about the white Cubans and, oh, how are Latinos voting for Trump, this and that. And look, Miami Cubans, you have to think of Latinos in a sort of a, I guess, regional sense. Like from New York City, we're wired differently than Miami Cubans, who are wired differently from, let's say, Chicanos in Chicago, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? And then Mexicans in Texas, out in Arizona. Like it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like getting the Latino vote necessarily, you're not going to appeal to Puerto Ricans and Cubans the same way, generally speaking.
Understood.
Um, Let me see, Maricopa, which we just talked about in Arizona, Cook County in Illinois, Riverside County, Bexar County. This is in Illinois, California, Texas, and then other places in California like San Bernardino, San Diego County, Orange County, and Dallas County in Texas. So you're looking at those Texas numbers, and Texas was close at one point. Trump ended up winning, but look, there's going to be a lot of more Mexican folks who are tired of this shit, who are going to be there and are going to be more active and energized and ready to vote. And that's the thing that I take away from this is that I'm thinking about all of the young people, the progressives, like they're winning elections. There's more than one AOC. There are a bunch of them. And you're starting to see them sort of take this step into the forefront. Democratic Socialists of America won 28 of 37 national races. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is a lot. This is a big margin. They won 8 of 9 major ballot initiatives. So they're winning all these caucuses. I think they won one in Montana. I think that's what I heard from Julio Ricardo Valera, or maybe it was his co-host Maria. But yeah, they're doing a lot of great stuff, and this is something that we have to keep our eye on. But as you said, like I felt great Biden got the win. I genuinely think he's a good dude, so I will say that much, or seems to be. Look, a lot of people were like laughing about the jog when he was getting, not an inauguration, but when he was having the press conference or whatever. I'm like, look, if I make it to 78 years old, I want to be able to jog like that. He looked like he was in shape, and that was something that jumped out at me. I was like, yo, this Trump can't do that shit. You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
a lot. There's a lot he couldn't do.
right. And it's like with me, it's just like I think that, we obviously have to, I think that we shouldn't, as progressives, we shouldn't have to just try to find a middle ground with dickheads, being people on the right who are so far on the right where it's like they don't want Medicare for all, they don't want people to have equal rights, they don't want people to be able to marry their gay significant others and things of that nature, where it's like, why would you want to find a middle ground with some of these people? I think we need to focus more on the progressives and actually like getting the things done we want to get done in our own communities, as opposed to trying to kowtow to people who historically don't really come to our side as it is.
Well, yeah, I think this one to wrap this. I'll say this election showed a lot. When you look at the numbers, I said when it's almost 70 million people that voted for Trump, this election to me showed to me very simply either you care just about yourself and your pockets, or you
Yeah.
care about people. And if you care about yourself, you voted one way. If you care about people, you clearly voted another way. And to Brian's point, to people that don't care about people, sometimes there's no helping people like that. If you don't care about people, the problem's with you. If it's all about yourself and what you can keep and what you can do, and there's a lot of my, and I, and a lot of the individualism that has permeated this country for years, that has allowed them to exploit people, systemically oppress people for years because of that individualism and individualistic nature. This is not where I think a lot of the people that are younger want to go in the future. It's a new day. People know that this country is getting less and less white by the day, and that scares the hell out of them. And we are just all blending together. And if that scares you, you're the problem. If you want to look the other way and say, oh, well, I'm not racist because I voted for this dude, you know what? I can agree with people and have disagree with people and have that are from a different political background. But what I can't agree with people on is if you support somebody that spews the kind of language, because that person showed to me while they were in office, still is a couple more months, that they didn't care about me. So if you support that dude and you say you want to be friends, you ain't my friend. Because if you were my friend, you wouldn't let somebody talk about me or people that look like me in that way and think that I would be okay with that. Not okay with that. So the people out there who vote for Trump and want to have their cake and eat it too and say they could be friends or family, because this happens to some people in families. I know somebody who's white, who their parents voted and significant others vote for Trump, and they now stop talking to them. And
Yeah.
I don't blame them for that, because it's tough for those people, and you can't show that you don't care about people and expect have my cake and eat it too, your cake and eat it too, and expect me to be like, okay, yeah, we're cool. Nah, man. Some point times you got to draw a line in the sand, and this is one of those things. And we see how the numbers going, and all we can do is hope that things are better in this country as we move forward. But we got a lot of work to do till the war is won. We got a lot of work to do till the war is won. We are still fighting. We are still fighting for opportunity. We're still fighting for justice in many cases. You look at something that just happened around LSU football with a player being arrested and searched by cops. And the only reason he probably got off is because he said he was an LSU football player. He's a black player, I should also add. These things are still going on. This hasn't gone away. So like I said, we still got a lot of work to do.